The purpose of this presentation today is to provide you with a good, solid understanding of the proper dosing of our immune support products, RVB 300 and the RYL 500. These are probably one of the most often asked questions. What's the difference? Why do I use one versus the other? Do I use them both together? Understand that the term immune response, and that's really what we're focusing on with our products here. The immune response is different than talking simply about the immune system and the health of the immune system. You can go get blood work at the doctor's office, and the numbers of white blood cells may appear to be normal. But we're really concerned with how well those cells are going to function in the face of a challenge. So we're going to use this chart today to talk about the difference in normal, healthy immune response and what happens when you are actually getting immune enhancement, something that will actually help your immune system do what it's supposed to do, but more, better, and faster. Now, the red line that appears on the chart indicates an individual's immune response of around 30 to 31%. This, believe it or not, is normal, healthy immune response. You can't eat any better. You can't take any more food supplements. You can't exercise more. There's nothing that's going to bring the normal, healthy immune response any higher than this. Now, you might actually have a lower immune response if you're not healthy, but we want to examine for today's presentation normal, healthy immune response. So the 500 milligram, that is our RYL 500, typically would be used for people who have immune challenges. Our RVB 300 are for people considered to be healthy. In other words, their immune response is already working at this level. The dose for the RYL 500 is 1 capsule per 55 pounds of body weight. The dose for the RVB 300, 1 capsule per 110 pounds of body weight. Keep in mind, now we're looking at a baseline for a normal, healthy person at around 30 to 31%. Now, let's say we're working with a person who is healthy. They don't have any diagnosed issues. They're getting along great. You open up the medicine cabinet. The only thing there is toothpaste, dental floss, maybe a little hydrogen peroxide, but no over-the-counter drugs. They're really hitting on all 8. Now, if they use the RVB 300 at the dose that we recommend, then we're going to give them 1 capsule per 110 pounds of body weight. Now, the chart shows us, based on day 0, a dose being given, and over a period of 3 days, roughly 72 hours later, that single dose will peak. And then by the end of 14 days, your dose curve will go back down to baseline. Again, we are simply demonstrating what a single dose at day 0 will do. 72 hours later, whatever dose you choose will peak, and then at the end of 14 days, you'll be back to baseline. Now, this is the typical immune response for the healthy individual. Again, you may have people that are down in this area, so their dose curve may be, significantly elevated. You'll see from around 30 to almost 40. In fact, the average number is somewhere around 45 to 50% up in here. So easily a 50% increase in immune response by the use of the RVB 300. Now, let's say somebody says, oh, wow, I can't afford $55 a month. Then it's not an all or nothing scenario. Have them take the recommended dose, the dose relevant to their body weight, and that's the only thing that we have to consider. We don't consider age, we don't consider height, we don't consider medical condition. The only factor for dosing is body weight. So if you're giving that dose every other day, then the immune response will simply be bouncing back and forth, a little bit lower on average, but they'll still be getting a significant increase in immune response. Again, this is demonstrating a single dose and at half the level, which again would be if you were taking it every other day, you're going to end up with about a 14-day fizzle out, if you want to use that term. Now, what about people who are not healthy? That's when you want to suggest the maximum in immune response support. And we're going to be going with the RYL 500. This is the dose curve that we're looking at. Again, demonstrating on day 0, a single dose, but this time, again, 1 capsule per 55 pounds of body weight. So let's say I weigh 220 pounds. At 55 pounds per body weight, I would be taking 4 capsules. So if I took my 4 capsules weighing 220 pounds, then in approximately 72 hours, my dose curve is going to be significantly elevated compared to the full or half doses, or should I say the full dose or the full dose, say, being taken every other day. So if we want to throw the kitchen sink and we want to get the maximum in immune response, now again, these are typical results. The results have been tested over and over again. So we know what these numbers in general are going to be. They could be slightly higher. They could be slightly lower for a person who is healthy or unhealthy, but realize that you are well over double the immune response when you're using the RYL 500s at the recommended dose. Again, on single dose, it takes about 14 days. So you literally, ladies and gentlemen, can dial up the dose and the immune response that you want to have day in and day out. You may want to dose and keep your immune system in this level every day of the week, but let's say you're a healthy person and you're getting ready to have your wisdom teeth removed. Well, probably about a week before, day of, and a week after, you'll want to add the 500s for additional immune response so that you heal more rapidly, you heal more completely, less chance of post-operative complications, things like dry sockets, infections, cavitations. And then once you're out of the woods, then you drop back to your maintenance dose. If, let's say, you're getting ready to get on a plane and fly across the country, again, give yourself a little bit more immune response. So I typically tell people, if you're healthy, go ahead and grab a bottle of 500s. The shelf life on this stuff has been tested like out 6, 7, 8 years. It's not going to go bad. Just stick it in the medicine cabinet just in case, and you want to give yourself additional immune support. Now, obviously, a person who is not healthy, someone whose immune system has failed them, and we have countless researchers, medical doctors, oncologists now that are coming to the realization that in spite of things that may trigger the creation of cancer in our bodies, it really comes down to the immune system's ability to surveil, to identify, attack, and eliminate those things that we don't want in our body. whether they're cancer cells, infections from virus, bacteria, fungi. A lot of people don't realize that injury and insult cannot be healed without the intervention of the immune system. Yes, we need the vitamins, the minerals, the essential fatty acids, the water, the air. Those are the things that give us substance, and we have the ability to use those as building blocks. But we still have to have the immune system directly involved in the healing process. So in the face of injury or insult, again, we're going to want additional immune support. We have so many things that the immune system rides herd over, if you please. Cancer, infectious disease, as I just mentioned, healing processes, the aging, living here on this earth, more stress, environmental toxins, heavy metals, the list goes on and on. Never forget that healthy bone and tissue cannot protect itself. We've got to have the immune system to do that for us. And without a healthy immune system, well, we're just going to assume room temperature, well nourished and well supplemented. Ladies and gentlemen, as usual, it is my distinct pleasure, and anytime I can be of assistance, don't hesitate to reach out, and have a happy day.